Right now, on to the point.
Put on your seatbelt, Sacramento. It's going to be a couple weeks.
A razor-thin mayoral race tonight where the 4 front-runners stand, one leading another by just a few votes. Plus the top races across the state. We're breaking down the vote. A beloved bowling alley closing its doors for good after a fire. Is it a sign of a bigger problem? And the new effort to cut down on late fees, what it could mean for your credit.
We start tonight with Your Voice, Your Vote. It has been an exciting 24 hours with more of the votes being counted today. Good evening. This is To The Point, and I'm Alex Bell. Now, we have a lot to get to tonight, starting with Sacramento's tight mayoral race. Just a handful of votes separate Dr. Richard Pan and Steve Hansen, with Kevin McCarty not far behind. Our Becca Hobbeger is tracking the latest in this race, catching up with the candidates today.
Yeah, Alex, candidates and political analysts tell me this race is a prime example of what we mean when we say your vote counts. I mean, check out the spread so far. Former state senator Dr. Richard Pan in the lead by 4 votes. Behind him is former city council member Steve Hansen. Trailing him by just 159 votes is Assemblymember Kevin McCarty, and then 645 votes behind him is public health professional Dr. Flo Kofer. Now, these results, they account for less than half of the ballots analysts are expecting in this race, even with predicted low voter turnout. That means we expect to see tens of thousands of more votes before we know which 2 candidates will advance to the November election. So statistically, mathematically, it is still anyone's race. At watch parties Tuesday night in Sacramento's mayoral race, the 4 frontrunners expressed optimism.
We know that most of the people, even my campaign staff, everybody was turning their ballots in today. We're really feeling good about what the next few batches are going to show.
It's entirely possible between now and early April that the top 4 could flip a little bit. I mean, it's that close.
Political analyst Steve Swat says the tight race means voters had good choices.
I think the closeness of the vote tells you that you had some really good quality candidates with a lot of experience in politics and other fields.
Speaking with the 3 leading candidates the day after the election, they say they're well aware things could change.
We're likely going to see a nail-biter right here in Sacramento in the mayor's race. Put on your seatbelt, Sacramento. It's going to be a couple weeks.
People have mailed in their ballots. Some of those are still in the post office. They haven't made their way over. And those votes deserve to get counted too.
I think it's very sacred to let the votes be counted. Turnout, I think, will be higher than some people expected. We saw so many people voting last minute.
Ultimately, Swat says the vote of the mayor holds no more weight than that of a city council member, since Sacramento's form of government is council city manager, not strong mayor.
City manager makes a lot of the critical decisions, including budgeting. The mayor basically is one member of the city council, but has a bully pulpit.
Speaking with ABC 10 on election night, current Mayor Darrell Steinberg, who is not seeking a 3rd term, emphasized that point too.
There is a big gap between how the people see the mayor as accountable and able to do everything, and the authority that the mayor actually has. And so I think to level set with the voters about how things get done and how it takes more than the mayor. It takes the city team. It takes the county of Sacramento, since they're integral when it comes to homelessness, because they are the health and human service provider, the mental health providers, the substance abuse providers for the city and county of Sacramento.
The top 2 vote getters who will advance to the general election in November will emerge more clearly in coming weeks.
So many people stay home and figure my vote doesn't count. This shows dramatically that your vote does in fact count.
Indeed, and the county is set to release the next wave of results by 4 p.m. Friday. It will release more every Tuesday and Friday at 4 p.m. until the vote is certified by April 4th.
All right, Becca, thank you. In the race to fill the late Dianne Feinstein Senate seat, Democrat Adam Schiff and Republican Steve Garvey will face off in November. This race has been highly watched, with 27 candidates in all running in the primary. Here is what Schiff and Garvey had to say last night.
That we have challenges to face up to, like closing the border, and responsibilities to live up to, like helping the homeless.
You helped us build the biggest grassroots campaign for Senate in California history.
During Schiff's speech last night, a crowd protested, appearing to be in response to the conflict in Gaza. Now, our Walt Gray joins us now. No, you're not seeing things. Walt is here this evening, and he's going to break down the Senate race and the other big races from last night. Now, Walt, I first want to start off with a lot of experts are saying this is going to be an uphill battle for Garvey to win a statewide office seat in California.
Yeah, good point, Alex. And here's the thing. I mean, you look at the numbers. Steve Garvey remarkably almost in a dead heat with Adam Schiff. So that's great for Garvey. He did very little campaigning, wouldn't do any newspaper or TV interviews. He effectively hid in the basement, and look what it did for him. But right now, for November, if you look at the early polls, which I've seen come out, Schiff probably 15, maybe points ahead of Garvey in the November. So that's something that Garvey is going to have to make up. Schiff probably will take this seat.
And I do want to talk about Proposition 1, because I want to see what it looks like right now. Wow, still really, really close.
This is amazing.
Only proposition on the ballot, on the primary ballot.
This is the only one on the ballot. It literally is in a dead heat. The yes on Prop 1 people spent millions of dollars in ads. We saw a lot of those on ABC 10. The no people spent about $1,000. Why is this so close? People in rural areas are not voting for this proposition. A lot of them are not fans of Gavin Newsom, and they're not going to do anything for something he's passionate about.
And we are also watching a lot of seats in the U.S. House as well. We know the top 2 vote getters, they will advance to the November general election.
Yeah, this one here, really no surprise. Kevin Kiley, 55%. This is a rural district north of Roseville. Jessica Moore's doing very well for a Democrat. You may say, how is she doing so well for a Democrat in this particular district? Look at what she did in Nevada County. She's ahead of Kevin Kiley. So obviously Nevada County skewing a little bit blue here. That's where she's making it so close in this particular race.
All right, well, thank you so much. And tonight, the presidential race appears to be set. Both Biden and Trump are now focusing on getting Nikki Haley's supporters' votes. Take a look.
The time has now come to suspend my campaign.
Nikki Haley no longer running for president after an underwhelming Super Tuesday, winning only one state. This morning, Haley congratulated former President Trump, but she did not endorse him.
It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it.
Both President Biden and Trump now turning to the general election. The presumptive nominees racing to win over Haley's supporters, a group that could be key in winning the White House.
I wish there were 2 better options.
It hurts my soul to say that I will vote for Joe Biden over Donald Trump.
There's plenty of other people who are earlier in their careers who could run and do a better job than those 2.
Today in Wisconsin, Vice President Kamala Harris was asked how the Biden ticket plans to beat Trump.
One vote at a time.
Trump picked up an endorsement from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, even though he blamed Trump for the January 6th Capitol riot.
I said in February of 2021, shortly after the attack on the Capitol, that I would support President Trump if he were the nominee of our party, and he obviously is.
And Haley is not the only person to drop out today. On the Democratic side, Dean Phillips is ending his campaign. He failed to pick up any delegates in the primary, and he is endorsing Joe Biden. And there's a lot happening from last night, and results are still coming in. If you do want to look up a specific race in your area, results are scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now. You can also scan that QR code or head to abc10.com/elections. Next, on To the Point, a fire closing a beloved bowling alley for good. Why some say, is it part of a bigger problem?
I'm still tracking areas of showers for tonight, even a few isolated thunderstorms and a funnel cloud.
And the new efforts tonight to cut down on credit card late fees, why it's being considered controversial, and what it could mean for your credit. All right, check this out. A funnel cloud was spotted in Solano County this afternoon. It was accompanied by heavy rain, and people reported seeing this funnel cloud in Suisun City and Vacaville. Thank you so much to our viewers for sharing these incredible images. Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods is here right now, and there were no reports of damage. But I mean, it's alarming to see something like that in the sky, right?
Yeah, and especially if you're headed home for the evening commute and you look up and you see that. Yeah, so an active weather period. As we get to our radar, we're going to continue to track areas of showers, even some isolated thunderstorms. That's been happening throughout the course of the afternoon and the evening, most notably in Colusa County, where we were seeing some isolated thunderstorms now starting to quiet down. Lots of ponding on the roadways, though, for some of those rural roads winds especially, and a couple of isolated thunderstorms as well through parts of the northern San Joaquin Valley. That too starting to quiet down, but as far as the foothills, we're still seeing areas of some hail reported for parts of Groveland and even towards Coulterville, where we had a lightning strike just about 15 minutes ago. Spotty snow showers through the Sierra, but much quieter than what we certainly saw last week at this time. You can see traffic moving smoothly at Donner's Summit, where we have some isolated snow showers, but again, everything clearing pretty nicely here. Low pressure system moving through Southern California. That's going to stay with us through our Thursday. Right now, we have dry conditions through most of the valley. Temperatures in the 50s down low, 30s up top for the Sierra. Again, dry conditions to start our Thursday, then a quick pulse with a chance for rain and snow for the foothills and Sierra tomorrow afternoon. Friday is a dry day under that ridge of high pressure. Then we're right back to the rain and snow for Saturday to start off our weekend. Quick mover, though, back to dry weather on Sunday. Our 5-day regional forecast, as you can see, generally on and off chances for rain and snow. If you're headed up to the high country on Saturday, just be prepared for the potential of some travel delays, and folks are still digging out up there, so be cognizant of that and respectful. Obviously, they've been dealing with a lot. Our 10-day forecast, we've got a chance of showers coming back early next week. After that, it is all about the spring conditions into the middle and end of next week.
All right, Monica, thank you. Next, on To the Point, credit card late fees, why the White House wants to crack down on them, but not everyone is on board. And a 9-year-old remembered tonight, his life cut short, his parents accused of killing him. Welcome back. I-80 is back open near Penryn after a deadly crash. Traffic was backed up this afternoon in the westbound lanes, and anyone who might have witnessed the crash is encouraged to contact the California Highway Patrol. Somber moments today out in Rancho Cordova as a 9-year-old from Roseville was remembered. People gathered at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to say goodbyes to Cyrus Blakely. His adoptive parents, Kimberly and Corey Blakely, are behind bars, accused of killing and torturing him. Cyrus's former teacher says that she was shocked when she heard the news.
So many questions that you ask yourself. Was there something that I did not see? Was there something more that I could have done? There were no signs that I personally saw of any sort of abuse.
After a history of failed foster placements, Cyrus was placed with the Blakeleys for 2 years. A man shot during an incident with Sacramento County Sheriff's deputies last night will be booked in jail after he is released from the hospital. The sheriff's office says deputies saw a vehicle with a code infraction and tried to talk to the people inside when the passenger started running. And this happened around 8:30 last night in the area of Odea Drive and Fruit Ridge Road. During the chase, deputies say they noticed he was carrying a gun. He was shot at least once in the stomach. And tonight, a beloved bowling alley is closing its doors for good. The owners of Land Park Lanes on Freeport Boulevard says they won't rebuild following a fire. As Roxanne Elias reports, it's causing concern in the neighborhood too.
AMF Land Park Lanes is permanently closed after a fire in February caused extensive damage inside the building.
It was deep sorrow, deep sorrow.
Jennifer Holden is the president of the Mangan Park Neighborhood Association. But more importantly, she's a longtime resident of the area where she's invested about 20 years of her life. She says the closure is yet another hit to the Freeport Boulevard business corridor. And she's fed up with other fires, which led to places like Hong Kong Islander, just a block away, to shut down in April last year.
Our cultural centers are places where we meet our friends and our family to get together. Those are fading until we are left saying, well, what's left? What do we still have? Who's next?
According to the Sacramento Fire Department, it was a couch fire that spread to the building. While they ruled it accidental, they say it appears to be human-caused. Sacramento City Council member Katie Maple says she shares concerns with Holden about recent fires in the area.
The fire department and the police department are working actively on this case to try to identify who might be responsible.
We have no absolute information that it definitely is. However, like much of Sacramento, there is a significant homeless population here.
Bolden says she's in talks with Maple on solutions moving forward. Maple says one of the things she is interested in creating is a property business improvement district on Freeport Boulevard.
The property owners within that geographic area coming together, agreeing to assess a tax on themselves so that they can produce revenue, to do security, to staff, to ensure that there's cleanups.
It's a strategic way City Council can work with the community to see improvements.
Now, the association president says that she wants to see a plan with City Council. Maple says that she is willing to meet with her, and they're already in conversations. And even you can help by speaking up. If you see something, call 311. All right, and your price points tonight. An interest rate cut is still likely this year, but the Federal Reserve chairman said he wants to see more evidence first that inflation is under control. He testified before the House Financial Services Committee today. California Congresswoman Maxine Waters said that she believes the housing shortage is driving inflation, calling for the crisis to be addressed. Target, who has been seeing sales decline, now says that they plan to open 300 new stores. They are also launching a new paid membership program. It's called Target 360. For $100 a year, members will get benefits like free same-day delivery. The program will start on April 7th. And today, the White House announced a new plan to crack down on credit card late fees. But the plan is already being met with heavy skepticism. Take a look.
The American people are tired of being played for suckers.
It's being called a controversial move by the White House. The Biden administration wants to lower the credit card late fees that millions of Americans pay each month. The new move will cap late fees at $8 per month. That's a quarter of the current average fee of $32. The president accuses banks of being greedy.
Well, we estimate banks are generating 5 times more in late fees than it costs to collect late payments. They're padding their profit margins.
Americans currently hold a record level of credit card debt, an average of $6,000 per family. The new cap will save those who pay their bills after the due date an average of about $220 per year. But opponents say this change will end up hurting most Americans. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, which says it will sue to stop the change, says capping late fees punishes Americans who pay their credit card bills on time by forcing them to pay for those who don't. This will result in fewer credit card offerings and limit access to affordable credit for many consumers.
They say if they lose that revenue stream or it's greatly reduced from those late fees, they're going to be forced to raise credit card interest rates on everyone.
And Biden wants to go further than just capping credit card late fees. He announced a new task force this week to crack down on what he calls unfair and illegal pricing on everything from groceries to prescription drugs. Led by the FTC and Justice Department, the task force will work with other agencies to target businesses that break the law and keep prices high. Critics say the Biden administration is just deflecting attention from high inflation.
The notion that government is in a better position to decide whether to pass on a price increase through quantity or through price just strikes me at the root of free market capitalism.
As for the new rule on capping credit card fees, if it clears any legal hurdles, it is expected to take effect in May. Next, on To the Point, the countdown to the Oscars and the 2 blockbuster films competing against each other again. Welcome back. Tomorrow is the State of the Union. President Biden will be addressing Congress and the nation, and that means To the Point will not be on tomorrow night. Here is the lineup. We'll have your local news at 5 o'clock, followed by World News Tonight. The State of the Union and Republican response will start at 6 p.m. and then join us at 10 o'clock for a special edition of ABC 10 News, followed by Late News Tonight at 11. And then on Sunday, it's the Oscars right here on ABC 10. We are counting down the 96th Academy Awards. Our very own Mark S. Allen is on his way to Los Angeles right now to report from the red carpet this weekend. And one storyline that we will be following is Barbie and Oppenheimer. The blockbuster favorites are expected to be the talk of the Oscars this year. The 2 big budget Hollywood films are going head to head in a number of Oscar categories. Both contenders for Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor, and then Best Supporting Actress. Here's Emily Blunt and America Ferrera.
It wasn't a movie for little girls playing with Barbie dolls. It was for all of us, men, women, young, old, around the world. And that's not an easy or inevitable task.
It was the most heart-stopping, exhilarating script. It was very easy to share thoughts on it. I found it very emotional. I think Oppenheimer is maybe one of Chris's most emotional movies.
And Oppenheimer leads the Oscars with 13 nominations. Barbie has 8. And Sacramento's Greta Gerwig directed Barbie and was snubbed for the directing category. But we will be watching very closely to see what happens this year. The Oscars air right here on ABC 10 starting at 4 p.m. this year. And we will see you right back here on Friday. Have a great night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.